Hello, how are you? This week's 5-point update, the 5 things I want you to know, to take action on, to ask me about, to go off and do some sort of research if that's what's required, and they're this. So driving test booking changes. So we're at the kind of end of the first bit of where they've changed it and changed it and changed it again. So if you've lost sort of sight of where we are, here's the changes. From the 31st of March, you can only move it twice in total and only online. Used to be 6 times online and 10 times over the phone. Now it's twice and twice only. Then you have to cancel it and get your money back. So that's change number 1. Change number 2, from the 12th of May, I can't have anything to do with booking tests, swapping tests, cancelling tests, even if I booked them. And once upon a time I booked everybody's test for them, then they paid me back, but they were all organised. We knew exactly who was doing what and when. That I didn't have 2 tests at the same time on the same day, but it's all gone to the wayside. So I can't book it for you, only you can do that. And then from the 9th of June, you can only move it to the 3 closest test centres to where it's booked already. Now that's to say that if it's booked in, say for example, let's say Cannock Street, Leicester, then I would imagine without punching the data, it's going to be Wigston, it's going to be Loughborough, and it could be, say, Melton, in terms of the 3 options you could have. If you are a student and you're going to move back home for the summer break, or you're going to delay starting university, or you're going to move from a university town to another one, or maybe from your hometown to, say, Leicester, then you can't, for example, have a London test booked, decide you're going to take it still, but up here, and then try and move it up here. They just simply won't let you do that. So there's that to watch out for as well. And then the one change that came very recently, beginning of this week I think, and it's kind of helpful, and it's this. If the DVSA cancel your test, then what could it be? Examiner ill, test centres closed down, freak weather, whatever. If they cancel it and move it, first of all they'll give you a new date, look for the email. But secondly, you get reset to 0 swaps taken. So even if you've had 1 swap and they move it, you go back to 0 swaps, you get 2 swaps again. So that could be good. The other thing they do as a sort of sorry is they put you on the list of people that are allowed to change their test online. So nobody can change their test online, but you can if they've moved your test for you. The one thing I should say, don't put faith in these test swap apps and a fast pass, I'll get a test in a week, and Bob off Facebook that's going to change your test for you if only you give him 25 quid. Honestly, don't. Now, if you want to go off and do that, do. If the DVSA catch you out, then they're going to cancel the test you've got. Yeah, they should give you back your money. They'll put up a system in place that says your driver licence isn't allowed to book tests online, so you can only get them by phoning in, and potentially they can stop you from booking a test for an entire year. That's how sort of heavy-handed they want to be. And this would be how would they find you out? So if your driver licence number has booked loads of tests, they go, well, why is this happening? Why has this person booked 12 tests? And then they switch them all the time or whatever. That would be a red flag. Why is this person paid with 5 different bank cards? Or that would be a weird one. Or they might even recognise, for example, a bank card's being used 50 times to book driving tests. Now, they'd find that out if they looked at me, but of course, I was allowed to book tests, so that would be kosher. But it could be one of these Facebook, get your licence in a week bullshitters that's just going to steal your money. I always would say to you, and in life, buyer beware. If you're going to push money up front for something, then don't be surprised if it's too good to be true and too cheap to be true. So even Testy, an app that used to be kind of kosher, if you get the swap out of it, even if you've had one already, then beware that any switch that's not done by GOV UK, their website or their call centre, they are reserving the right to cancel your test. So there, I've told you. When booking tests, so when you book a test, please ask me first if you want my help. If you don't want my help, all right, I don't necessarily encourage you to go off and do it by yourself, but if you want to, it's your test. If you want my help and you want my car, you've got to make sure I'm free. Now, my car, we're committed for a whole year. You know my schedule, it's 1 year up front. So what I can't simply do is do 2 tests at the same time in 2 different places. Not possible. So why call up and get a test before you've asked? Why go online and book a test before you've checked the schedule? Only to then come back to me and say, oh, by the way, I've got a test. And I'll be like, great, when is it? And you'll go to blah, 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 November. And I'll go, yeah, I've already got one in Wigston. Oh yeah, but this is Loughborough, but I can't be in two places at once. What are you going to do? Want to get L plates and insurance and stick them on your car? Yeah, you can do that. Oh well, no, I'll go off and I'll move it. Okay, but then now you've wasted one swap. Why do that to yourself? The other thing I'd encourage you to do is to put in what's called my PRN, my personal registration number. So you ask me what that is and I'll tell you. That way, if you go online, or that way, if you call in, or even if you're switching a test, say, then you could quote that number or punch that number in. And what it would do is, I've gave the DVSA my schedule for the year ahead. Every test I know I've got, every time I know I'm not in the country, I've blocked it all out. So if you, for example, go online and try to book a test at 6 in the morning on a Monday, you could do that. It should throw out your structure is not available for this test. And then what you might do is either go one day this way or one day this way, and then, oh yeah, I am available. Wallop, you've solved the problem. Great. But it is risky if you just steam off and do it. And I know why you would. But if I'm busy, and I can't do two tests at once. So please have a look at that. So yeah, booking tests. Don't use anything but GOV UK or their phone number. Even if you somehow, by some miracle, manage to get it, if they catch you out, they're going to just cancel it. It's happened a lot. Ways to pay. So I experimented a while ago with different ways to pay, and I have bank transfer. Bank transfer is good. Bank love it. The tax man loves it. It's really easy. Show them one account with every single in and out, and that's nice and easy for digital tax, which is something that a person like me now has to do. You can pay by PayPal, pay as a friend. That's fine. And why I say pay as a friend is that if you go online and just do it as PayPal, pay a business, PayPal takes some money. So I don't get the money that you've sent, and that's difficult for me. So pay a friend, wallop, the money comes through as paid. That's good. I've now introduced card readers, and they come in two types. So I've got a physical card reader. So if paying up front is something you want to do, tell me, I'll bring it along. It's your usual chip and penny thing that you're used to seeing in the shops. I tap it into the app in the phone. It sends it to the machine. You put your card on it, or card and pin it if that's your jam, and then you'll get a receipt. And I'll put your phone number in, for example, and it'll send you a receipt. You'll always get an invoice receipt like you've always got. So you can do that. You can do tap and pay on the phone. Again, I punch in the amount, you just doink, and then whoosh, money goes off. And you can do that too. And you can pay by link. So you can say to me, can you send me a link for next week's lesson? I will extract it from this system. I will put it in a WhatsApp, send it over. You press on it, punch your details in. It's a secure server and all that. And then the payment reaches me. Now, with these three options, pay by card, pay by tapping machine, and pay by Stripe, I have to add a little bit onto it. So it's currently, I think it's £2.20. The reason for that is let's say, for the sake of argument, let's make it a round number. You're going to send me £100. The card people will take £250 or £275 or something off me before I see the money. Now you might go, well, okay, well that's fine, isn't it? But here's the reality. Let's do the maths on this. It would cost me something like, I think I worked this out, £12 a day if everybody paid by card. They won't, but that's what it would cost my business to pay the people who have done me the favour of taking the money. Think of it that way. So that's £12 a day by 5 days a week, so we're at £60 a week. By 4 months, 4 weeks in a month, so we're now £240. By 10.5 months a year, so I'm nudging near £3,000 in bank charges. Now, I don't know a person alive that can take a £3,000 pay cut. I don't. And this is why, if you've been alive long enough, or mum and dad will know this, certainly, that's why for a really long time, supermarkets didn't like credit cards. 20 years ago, if you tried to pay by credit card, and I don't think to this day you can pay by American Express. And the reason is the bank take a chunk of the money. So you buy your £100 worth of stuff in Sainsbury's, stick your chip and pin in, voila, and then Sainsbury's get like £96 or whatever. It don't sound like, oh, big business can afford it, but you've got to do that 10,000 times a day times 365 days a year, and that is a ton of money. So for that reason, I've got to do it. So I'm not forcing you to use the products. I'm just saying you can use them. Bank transfer's fine, but you've got those options too. Yeah, and then I very rarely do this, but some people it's handy. We can do cash so long as you're always paying for the next one. So if it's paying the car on a card, paying the card with a tappy tappy thing, or cash, you've always got to be paying for the next one 1 week up front. And again, banking, right? How mad is this? I used to do cash only actually. And I would go to the bank with my money, right? And I go to the guy, here you go. Let's just say it's £1,000, right? I go, here's 1,000. And you go, that's 18 quid, please. And I say, what? So yeah, you got to pay money in. I'm saying, what? I've got to pay you to give you money. It's like, yeah. And my business had to pay 18 quid to pay cash in. Like, how mad is that? Like, they loan that money to other people and rah, rah, rah. And I had to pay it. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So I kind of done away with cash. And then there's the whole COVID thing and diseases and whatever. But generally, the bank charges were nuts. And so I just knocked it on the head. But or do it if it's helpful, but only if you're paying up front. My schedule runs to July of 2027. Use it. You only ever have to pay for lesson 1 on the day you book it. And you'd only ever used to have to pay for your entire test day if my company bought your test for you. But other than that, everything's minus 7 days to lesson day. So if your lesson is the 23rd of December and you're booking it now, you don't have to pay for it till the 16th. And so if you want to go and book a whole year's worth up front, do it. Honestly, do it. Because other people doing that, cleverly, it's the reason why sometimes you can't get the dates you want now. They were clever enough, some of these folk, to go 1 year up front and go way past their test date. I definitely advocate that. And then when they pass, they don't need them anymore. And that's why they become available. Or they're getting really good near test day. So we go from every week to every other week or every third week. So plan ahead. If you what's that saying? If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And that's kind of true with lesson prep, right? And then lastly, the apps and the workbooks. Everybody gets the use of apps. The Learning to Drive Centre, Learner Centre in Drive Johnson's. Learn to Drive Pro, that's an app. What else is in there? Elevate Way to Pass, that's a nerves management and a stress management app. And the Highway Code and the Traffic Signs book, you can have copies of those too if you want. And I'd really encourage you to use them all. Paper workbooks. If you want paper workbooks to write your notes and your thoughts in, I offer them. They're in the app, and some people like apps, but use anything that helps you so that you can be reading your own stuff, whether it's a workbook that you wrote in. Last week I did roundabouts and this happened and this happened, and yeah, that bit weren't too good, but that bit was really great. Next time I do this, it prompts you. So when I say to you, what do you want to do today? You go, oh yeah, I looked at my book, I looked at my app. Some people record voice notes into WhatsApp, like yeah, roundabouts, blah, 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 and they play it back the week after. Sometimes I'm updating your mum, your dad with that kind of info through an audio file, because it helps them talk about, oh yeah, Paul talked about you nearly crashed into a tree today, or just make an extreme example. Well, how did that happen? Oh, sorry, yeah, my mum was watching pigeons or whatever. So it's a constant talking point. So test booking changes, you know what they are. Test books. If you're going to book one, please run it past me first. Use the schedule. Don't be the one that gets caught out because 3 people on the same day have all booked a test. 2 of them checked with me and the other one didn't. You're the one that's possibly got to move it. I don't want to do that to you, but we've only got 2 swaps and I'm just put one person with 1 car that can be in one place. Yes, I own 2 cars, but I can't have them in 2 different places, can I? Ways to pay. If they're convenient, let's use them. Schedule till July 27. Please use it. I work less hours October till March every year. So think about that in terms of the, how many lessons you want and when you want them. Use the apps, use the workbooks, and if you get locked out, you can't find the logins, send it to me, a message, and I'll resend it to you. So that's it. I hope you're well. Thank you for working with me. I know you have other choices, and I'm glad we're working together. And I will see you the next time we're in the car.